All right, Costa, would you like to introduce our very special guest right now?
Well, you talk in terms of somebody paying their dues and starting at the bottom and then working their way up and becoming an integral part of a football team's success. That certainly describes our next guest, Aztecs offensive line coach, Mike Schmidt. Mike, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Good, Mike.
Mike, how long has it been from playing days to now you've been up on the Mesa?
Yeah, it's been a while. I arrived here in 2005. That was my freshman season here. Got done playing in 2008, and then jumped right into the graduate assistant stuff and got hired on. My first year as offensive line coach was 2012.
Looking at the group that you have this year, and Coach Long talked about it before the season started, that it wasn't necessarily a red flag. It was a question mark. You had some youth. You had some guys that were going to get some playing time very early in their careers. Mike, so far, has this group matured like you thought they would, or have they kind of surpassed expectations?
Yeah, you know, we've definitely made some strides. I think we took a step back a little bit last week. But the guys are working hard every day. You know, they're competing every day out here on the field, and they're making improvements. And, you know, going into that UNLV game 2 weeks ago, you really saw it start to click for a lot of the guys. And then last week, you know, we faced a tough front and took a step back. But, you know, getting back out here on the practice field and continuing to work with the youth that we have, just honing in on their fundamentals and techniques is the biggest thing. And really owning the schemes we're running. Now we're 8 weeks in, and they got a great idea of what we're trying to get done. So just continuing to grow as a front.
You know, Mike, if you're an offensive lineman, and all the offensive linemen I've known over the years, and of course we have two working here at this station, and Nick Hardwick and Rich Ornberger, I mean, they live for running the ball. I mean, that's an offensive lineman's dream, is to be in an offense where they emphasize the run. You know, now that you've been on the recruiting trail for years at San Diego State and have firmly established this running game at San Diego State, what kind of reaction do you get from these offensive line recruits trying to pitch the idea that, hey, yeah, we run the ball at San Diego State?
Yeah, I think that's big, and I think that's part of the reason we do have, you know, some of the freshmen, playing for us is they were part of a good class a couple of years ago. You know, now they're redshirt freshmen, and some of them are already seeing time, and then there's a couple others in that class that are still developing. But we were selling it hard. You know, we had Pumphrey going, you know, hitting his stride, and they all saw that, and they all know it starts up front, and it really attracted a lot of those top linemen here on the West Coast to us.
Mike, when a kid comes to play offensive line at this level, what's the biggest eye opener for most freshman offensive linemen?
Yeah, it's no question the maturity and the strength that it requires, and not just getting on a bench press and all that. It's the core strength, the stamina, all that stuff. That I mean, we got a couple guys that are 18, 19 years old out there, and they're playing up against 22-year-old guys who are fully developed. That is the biggest thing to overcome as a young lineman, just the physical nature of the position and being right on contact and having to have all your strength with you. And that's the biggest thing to overcome as a young offensive lineman.
And, Mike, do people realize, just, you know, Aztec fans who are not in a film room with you, have never played offensive line, you make the point about being right on contact and how just, I mean, a couple of inches off can mean the difference between a pass play working or a quarterback getting sacked or a running back taken off or a guy getting stuffed in the backfield.
Yeah, there's no question that you say a couple inches. We refer to that as leverage. So whether you're in protection, you're leveraging the launch point of the quarterback, or in a particular run scheme, you got different leverages you got to work. You know, and if you're just behind that leverage, just a couple 1-2 inches, you know that play can go from really good to really bad, and then all it's got to take is one guy to not fit up on the right leverage, and usually the play's not as successful as it was drawn up to be, or as it could have been.
Aztecs offensive line coach Mike Schmidt joining us. Coach, you know, we talked to some of the players, senior players, after the game, the loss to Boise State, and obviously it was a big disappointment. You know, and as Coach Long said, we just did not play well. But for some of the younger players that really haven't experienced something like that, how do you deal with those young guys saying, hey, this is part of the game. We're going to have a bad week, but we got to get it right back to it. I think the seniors understand it, but how do you get that to some of the younger players?
Yeah, you try to explain, past situations that we've been in. We took a tough loss last year before the championship game to Colorado State, and just the mentality of the program really kind of fights our guys through it, and we stuck to our guns, and we still believe we're a physical and tough unit up front, and we're going to keep practicing that way, and hopefully we get out of this little rut we're in.
Aztecs offensive line coach Mike Schmidt with us here on Xtra 1360 Fox Sports San Diego. You're home for the Aztecs in San Diego. Big game Saturday night. Fresno State in town. It's homecoming. The oil can, Mike, is on the line. Health-wise, what does that group look like, the group up front looking like going into the Fresno State game?
Yeah, we got a couple guys dinged up, but most guys should be ready to go on Saturday night. Everybody's dealing with a couple nicks and stuff like that. So we'll be ready. We'll be ready to go, and we'll put the best 5 out there.
I was going to say, Coach, when you've had as much success as you have running the ball, and then you have a game like the Boise game where the running game is not going, is that because Boise came with something that maybe you guys weren't 100% prepared for, or did it really come down to a lack of execution from your guys?
Yeah, lack of execution is the main reason, and then you saw us there, in the second half, and we're down 21. We were kind of forcing to throw the ball a little more, So we've been focusing in on a lot this week, just staying ahead of the chains on first down and letting our offense work in full. Instead of when we got to drop back and throw, we're probably not at our best.
Mike, from your playing days in Aztec to where you are now as the offensive line coach, have you changed much? Have you changed much in your demeanor or approach to the game?
Yeah, man, I'm still. I just turned 30 last March, and I'm continuing to grow and trying to learn everything I can each and every year. And when I played here, we were spread option team. And I've taken those schemes, and then Coach Borges came in, and Coach Ludwig, and I learned the whole pro style system, and we've kind of been in that system for a while. So we've grown a lot. I try to grow each and every year, and I still feel like I'm learning every week.
I was going to say, Coach, you mentioned that right after you finished your playing career with the Aztecs, you jumped in for a grad assistant job to set yourself on a pace to get a coaching position. Is it everything you thought it was going to be? Has it been more than you thought it was going to be when you decided, I want to take this track?
Yeah, I mean, I love coming out on the field every day, and it's exactly what I thought. I mean, I think the veteran guys on the staff, when I started being a graduate assistant, they really kind of molded me and let me know the reality of the situation. You're going to be on the road. You're not going to get home much and all that, and it's exactly what I expected. So I want to thank all the guys that kind of came before me and taught me the ropes, and no question that this is what I love doing.
Are your linemen scared of you, Mike? Like if you guys get into the film room on a Monday after a game and they know they've done something wrong, are they trembling?
Scared. Yeah, they're usually scared on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we start to build their confidence back up for Friday and Saturday. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they're a little on edge.
By the way, we talked about this 49,000 plus against Boise State, and that was a Aztec crowd. How did that feel to see that kind of support back in San Diego?
Yeah, it feels great. I remember there were some games when I was playing back in the early part of the decade where it was hard to see 4,000, and to see that crowd where it was gives our guys a lot of excitement, and hope they keep showing up.
Now we just got to win with the big crowd. That'll be coming up this Saturday. Fresno State key game. Right now, Fresno State, only undefeated team in the Mountain West Division that, of course, is home of the Aztecs. Coach, again, congratulations on the great run. Let's get back on the winning track this Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
Mike.
That's Mike Schmidt.